folks, and welcome back to the channel. So before we begin the video today, just want to remind everyone to go ahead and like and subscribe. Comment down below. Check the description of this video and all the other videos on my channel if you're in a position to help the channel grow in any way. I have links there for my Patreon, Teespring, and several other support links, as well as the usual advocacy links. With all that out of the way, folks, thank you for watching today, and let's get on with the video.
Welcome back to the channel. So, I'm having trouble with my lavalier mic. I've actually recorded this video twice so far, and the first time there was spikes and background noise and stuff in it, and the second time there was no audio at all. So, this is usually my live setup. So, unfortunately, this is going to be in 1080 and not in 4K. And all of that, but we're going to go ahead and kind of go on with it. So we're going to talk about the second episode of Dexter tonight. This is a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. To start off with saying that, it has some slower moments, and it has some of those odd, awkward moments that Dexter kind of went through in the earlier seasons. I really feel like the characters progressed more in the later seasons and would have not have been quite so much. He really learned to relate to people a bit more, but they kind of went back to what he was in the beginning. Maybe it's, the difference in a small town versus being in Miami. Or maybe it's just him letting people close to him again. I don't know, but that kind of read a little off in the way that I think about where the character has gone. Even if you kind of wrote out what they did with like the last season, Dexter progressed, especially like in season 4 and 5. Where he really learned to relate to other people. So that kind of took it down a notch. This is one of those classic second episodes. The first one reintroduced us to Dexter and introduced all the characters in the town. And this one furthered each of their stories. It didn't do a whole lot to further the season plot. It did a little bit, and I'll get into that in a minute. But before I go any further, I do want to say that this is a spoiler review. I want to talk about the episode. I'm going to be somewhat vague, so if you haven't seen it and do watch all of this, you're not going to be completely spoiled, but there will be some spoilers in this. So, we open up on one of those classic Dexter awkward scenes where it's Dexter and Harrison sitting across the table from each other, and neither one of them knows what to say. Which, in retrospect, seems even more odd, because while Dexter has always had issues relating to people, even though like I said, he did progress, we find out later in the episode that Harrison doesn't have those problems, that he's very social, and gets along very well in groups as well as one-on-one. Deb in this episode comes in. And again, it's Deborah filtered through Dexter, but it still doesn't really feel like the Deb of old. And Deb was always my favorite character of the original series, as I said in the first review. So Deb doesn't quite feel right either. Overall, I'm going to say that this episode for character building and world building is a B. I did really enjoy it. We do finally get to see Clancy Brown. We do find out more about Angela, his girlfriend, and she finds out about Harrison. And of course the awkward girlfriend moment with that. But I'm really glad that they took that into a less like what they would handle it in a lot of movies, where it was, where she blows up, runs off, and then he has to win her back. This one, she's in close proximity to him anyway, because the guy that Dexter killed in the first episode has been reported missing, and it's close to Dexter's land. His land is close to the public hunting grounds. It's also close to the border for the natives, for the tribal lands. So that, of course, brings in the native characters later on. And, of course, you know, it's pretty easy to see that Angela has at least somewhat native, if not, you know, that she's from the reservation, is what we find out in it. We also kind of get a glimpse into what happened. We find out what happened to, we find out Harrison's story of what happened to Hannah. It seems a little bit, the character's not been around long enough in this, at this age to know if he's lying or not, but the way that they shoot it, the way that they wrote it, and the way that he acts it, it kind of feels like there's something, like there's a lot more to that story. So we do find out that Hannah died 3 years ago of cancer. And then they were, of course, in Argentina. When the social worker there found out about that, they shipped him back to Miami, and he's bounced around from foster home to foster home. So you find out that, you know, he tells Dexter that she died. And like I said, it feels kind of like there's a lot more to that. Maybe it's just more to the story. Maybe he did something. I don't know. We'll see how that part plays out. That's kind of going to be an interesting thing for Dexter to cope with and deal with. But like I said, Angela kind of comes back, and then she shares a little secret with him that her daughter isn't actually her blood daughter. She's adopted. You find out that Angela lost someone a long time ago, which is one of the reasons why she's so overbearing and overprotective of her daughter. You find out that Harrison's pretty cagey. School kids volunteer to help with the search for the kid that went missing. But what they actually do is go to a local summer camp and break into one of the cabins and sit around smoking pot all afternoon and you know, being teenagers. They were trying to get the lock open, and one of the local boys couldn't do it, and Harrison goes, "I got this," and walks up, and he doesn't actually pick the lock, which is what I was expecting, it being, you know, Dexter. But he walks up and pops the it's a padlock on the door through a hasp, and he just reaches up underneath it and pops the hasp loose because somebody didn't know what they were doing when they put it on, or they just didn't care, threw it on. You know, just, you know, locks are only to keep the honest people out, kind of thing. So, you know, you find out that he's somewhat of an artist. I don't know where that's going to play into it, but his character development and additional character progression, that's the word I was looking for. So we get two interactions with the lesser characters in it. One of them's obviously going to be the big bad. More than likely, I think it's going to be Clancy Brown. They're setting it up for that. But it could be the billionaire oil guy. It could be him, but it really looks like, the setup scenes really look like it's Clancy Brown's character. But they never actually show his face. What they do show is the little transient girl that was in the first episode, locked in a room with no door handle. And at first she was given chocolate strawberries and champagne, and then, you know, the next day she wakes up and finds that that there's no door handle on the door to get out of the room, and she sees a camera that's been watching her, and we see somebody watching her, but we only kind of see their eye. It really looks like Clancy Brown, but that could be a red herring. Clancy Brown plays the father of the guy that went missing that Dexter killed in the first episode. And of course, he's, you know, rich guy with a, you know, spoiled rich kid. And just as you think that they're going to call the search off because of a little bit of manipulation that Dexter puts into when they find the crime scene, you think they're going to call it off, but Clancy's character, you know, I'm a local, I've helped you and all this, and really causes them to continue the search. So they're still camped out on Dexter's front lawn, searching the woods in the area around his house. So he's dealing with Harrison coming back into his life, trying to figure out what's going on. There's some really well handled family drama between Dexter and Harrison. Harrison finally confronts Dexter. You find out that Hannah knew Dexter was alive, that he had sent her a letter, and Harrison found it when she died. And there's a confrontation scene with that that's really good, really well acted. The kid actor, or well, the young actor, he's not really a kid, he's probably somewhere 18, 19, 20, somewhere in that area. He's really good. He really pulls that scene well. He looks enough like Dexter that he's passable as possibly his kid. And they really work well together. They do a good job. There's good chemistry between the two of them. So overall, that's kind of what this episode was. It was very much like I said, a character building, adding more to what's going on in the new Dexterverse, and fleshing out the other characters that you meet. So I really enjoyed this episode for the most part. Like I said, it's got a couple of little things. Dexter didn't stalk. Excuse me. Dexter didn't stalk and set up this kill like he did in most of the kills in the original series. This was a spur of the moment thing, and you do see repercussions from that, and Dexter trying to sort that out, as well as dealing with all this that's going on. So, you know, we've seen Dexter have to do that before when he varies from the code or drifts away from the code. So it was one of those episodes. It's mostly building up to what's coming later in the season. But like I said, I give this one a B. It's a solid B. I think in a lot of ways it's actually even better than the first episode. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. Sorry about the camera change and all of that. But I'll get the lavalier sorted and get back to it. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to check out this Saturday, the 20th of November. There's going to be a live on the channel. Ethel Cross and Collector Man are going to be joining me to play some more Jackbox games. Also, there's links down in the description. My personal links, Teespring, if you like my shirt, if you want to like it. Other things, I've got those cups like that. I've got water bottles, all kinds of stuff on there. I've got a Patreon if you would like to help support the channel. I have Buy Me a Coffee. I have a Amazon wish list if you would like to help out with some of the equipment that I need. All of that is greatly appreciated, but there is also advocacy links down in the description below. Please check those out if you have any interest at all. And as always, y'all be good, y'all be safe, and y'all have a good